Hey guys, it's Carly. Today I wanted to pop in and share with you these cute little mini carrot pinata boxes I'm making for Easter. So I've got the Essentials by Element pyramid box that I'm using as my base. You need to cut it twice to make the pyramid, so I've done that from 110-pound cardstock. And then since I'm making mine a pole style pinata and not a box, I'm going to cut off these flaps that are for opening and closing. So the next step in assembling this little box is to fold along all the scored lines and then just go over with my bone folder. Then I'm going to grab some liquid glue to actually adhere the two pieces together. So you have that smaller flap and you want to put a little bit of liquid glue on the first one, put that second piece on, and then you're going to put glue again on that smaller flap and fold it together. I could probably be a little more careful about lining things up, but I'm going to cover it in orange fringe so you won't even know that it's a little off. Now next I'm going to start working on my little pull string for my piñata. So I've got the Essentials by Ellen Good Fortune stamp set because it has a little stamp that says pull, and that's just what I needed. And since I'm making a whole bunch of them, I created a little stamping jig. So I die cut the circle that I'm going to use from a piece of cardstock. I put a little bit of low-tack tape on the back of that, popped it in my MISTI, then I'm going to line up the stamp over that jig so that I can just put a circle in, stamp it, put another one in, stamp it, put another one in, stamp it, and get all my little pull strips done because I'm making a whole bunch of these for Easter. Next, I'm going to grab my tissue paper. I need a circle to close off my piñata box, and I need fringe to cover it. Now let me show you how I'm going to create the closure for this little piñata box. So I'm going to take some double-sided tape and I'm going to start in the middle of one of the sides and wrap it around the base. When I get back to where I started, I'm going to leave a little gap so that my little piñata string is going to fall there and it won't stick. There won't be any tape in that little gap, if that makes sense. Now I'm going to make the pull string by sandwiching a piece of embroidery thread between two of those little circles that we stamped. I'm going to remove the liner paper from that double-sided tape that's around the base of the box, and I'm going to take the back of the embroidery thread, the part that doesn't have the pull circle on it, and put it across from where the opening is. So where the opening is in the tape where we left it, I'm going to put it across from there and then pull the string across the box so that the string with the pull tab will fit right in between where the tape is. Now moving it out of the way for a second, I'm going to fill it up with a little bit of candy, then pull the string back across and close it up with that one circle of tissue that I've got waiting. Okay, so at this point, the piñata box is ready for fringe. So I've used the Essentials by Ellen Never Ending Fringe die set, the middle size of fringe, and I've die cut a whole bunch of orange tissue paper. Okay, so this is the point where I realized I probably should have cut these boxes out of orange cardstock because the tip is probably the most likely to show through the orange fringe. So I just grabbed my Copic marker and I colored the little tip of my carrot boxes orange so that in case any of it peeked out, you wouldn't be able to tell so much. And then now I'm actually ready to fringe. So I'm just using a little bit of liquid glue along the box and pressing the fringe on top. You could use any kind of liquid glue pen for this. You could use double-sided tape if you want. I just like the ease of the liquid glue. It gives a little wiggle room too. And even though it's a little bit messier to do right now, it dries really nicely and it's not a problem. I just find it handy to keep like a paper towel or something near in case I get glue on my fingertips. And you want to keep just adding fringe, fringe, fringe until you get all the way to the top of the box. Once I fringed all the way to the top, I decided to add one more layer of tissue. So I die cut a square that I'm adhering with double-sided tape, and I figure this gives my candy a little extra security and also gives me a little bit cleaner of a look on the end. Now to make a little carrot greenery for the top, I die cut that same fringe from green tissue paper, and I've got some double-sided tape along the bottom. So I'm going to remove the liner paper from the first piece of tape and stack the two pieces of green fringe together. And then I'm going to remove the liner paper from the second piece and start rolling it into a column of sorts, I guess, and kind of shifting that fringe down as I roll so it gives it length. And then once I've got my little poof of carrot greens, I'm going to fold over the base a little bit and put a piece of double-sided tape on it so I can stick it to the top of my piñata. Okay, I know some of you hate when I do this, but here's how it looks when you open it. So you just pull that string and it rips right through the tissue and there's the candy. And that wasn't the piñata that I just made. This was my first test one, so don't feel too bad about it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day and I hope you were inspired to craft today. Happy crafting, guys.